How are y'all doing today, folks? This is Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you to another episode of The Good, the Bad, the Awesome, where we unbox, give my first reaction to all things pop culture. So when you see it, I see it. So if you like to see what I see, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and get notified when we have new videos. And if you're already doing that, thank you so much for your continued support. So today we're going to take a look at a third-party Transformer, and we're going to look at one from some deep lore, one of the first primes, one of the first that are out there, but we're going to take a look at the Fallen Chaos Blaze by Iron Factory. We're going to take a look at this. This is aka Megatronus, and we're going to take a look at him, see what he's like, see if he's awesome, see if he's bad to the bone, if he lives up to being the Fallen, or if he's just the dumb. So let's go find out. And here he is, Chaos Blaze from Iron Factory, aka Megatronus, aka the Fallen. If you don't know much about him, TF Wiki has a really good kind of article about him, and especially in his role in the Generation 1 continuity from Dreamwave. But I like how they put it. If the first Transformers were Primus's disciples, then the Fallen is his Judas. He's Megatronus, one of the Brotherhood of the vastly powerful beings dedicated to the well-being of their world, but the Fallen would gain his current moniker by turning against his brother Primes and his purpose to pursue his own ends, also earning the moniker, the first Decepticon. In the process, his frightening form is a metal cage for Primal, burning forces of chaos, giving him the appearance of a living furnace. So that's what's really, really cool, and I love the representation here. So if you like the golden age of Cybertron, you're going to love this figure. So if you're like, is this just Megatron on fire? It is not. So he is the first Decepticon, Megatronus. But take a look at this box. The box art is so cool with the picture of the person here, and then on the back, look at that. I am a sucker again for Transformers with swords, and that is a BA sword right there. So I cannot wait to really get to mess with this thing. So we'll get this out of the package. I'll be able to show it off to you. We'll get it transformed. I'll tell you my thoughts, tell you where I got it, tell you how much he is, and tell you if this is one you should pick up or you should pass by. Oh my Lanta, this thing is freaking awesome. That is all I gotta say. That is this. Oh, man, just this is the first time I'm seeing this out of the box, and he looks wicked. And oh gosh, just I am lost for words. Now, Iron Factory, they are a Legend scale company, so they make Legend scale bots. Mainly dealing with IDW. They don't have a lot of G1. The first G1s I'm starting to see are the Lio Kaiser that they're starting to release there. I know maybe earlier they had some, but they're mainly like IDW, really kind of the angular bots. But this, and they release some of the obscure characters. So like, I got Galaxy Ranger, we got some other ones out there, but this guy is freaking cool. So from a height standpoint, we'll bring in my ruler here. He just stands up at the very tip of that flame right there. It's about just under 6 inches, but if you get to the top of his head, it's about 5 inches. So very small but mighty. But what you get in the box, you do get all these extra hands right here that you can kind of change and interchange those. You also get this thing, which I don't know what this is. This has got to be either a flight stand or something like that you can kind of put them on, but I'm not really sure, and the instructions don't make it clear what this is. And then this right here, the piece de resistance, is freaking amazing. So what's cool is if I didn't want the sword, I could pull that off, and I got this hammer right here. Hammer of the Gods, but why not have this sword with the translucent orange that's kind of got the gradient here? Really nice plastic. The paint application on here with is really good. There's no overspray or anything like that. This weapon is cool. I kind of want to give this weapon to somebody else, but no, it's the Fallen's weapon. It's Megatronus, and then the bot itself. Oh, don't forget, you get the instructions, but a lot of times with third-party companies, I like to look online to see how to transform him versus the instructions here, because I typically am not a real good follower of these instructions, so you won't see me fumble around transforming him on camera. I'll transform him off camera, so that way you don't have to watch me make lots of mistakes like I used to do in my earlier videos. And so we'll take a look here at the face, the furnace looking right there. Almost looks like a prime, kind of a mixture of a, well, I guess he's one of the 13 primes, right? But it's got the mixture of the prime, that kind of Galvatron, Megatron look too as well. So that's just really, really cool. You know, the Judas of the primes here. The first Decepticon just looks so good. The flames, the translucent, it's a, you know, you think you'd hurt yourself, but it's a little bit of a soft plastic in some areas. It's a hard plastic in others. Some areas the plastic does move, and I believe that has to help with transformation and whatever you want to do, but he is a living furnace. I'm telling you what, this thing just is freaking amazing. I moved these up. I didn't know if I was supposed to move those up, or you can keep them to the side if you want to. It's your toy. You do whatever you want. You got this little skirt here in the back. Got a little bit of like a backpacking kibble here, but you can tell he turns into a flaming tank, which is so, so cool. And so there he is from the front, then the side, the back, the side, and the front. I just can't stop gushing over this guy. Articulation wise, I mean, the head's on a ball joint. You got these arms, they're on a ball, so they'll go all the way around. You can lift them up, but not all the way like so. Can you go forward? You have a little bit of a butterfly, but not much. You do have more than a 90-degree bend. You also do have the hands on a ball joint. And then the waist, do you have an ab crunch? Yes, you do have an ab crunch. You do have a waist twist. And then let's get these legs up. Oh, get a side skirt that just popped off, but it can Van Damme it if you want to. You can move it up forward if you kind of move the skirt up a little bit. So that's about as far as you can get forward. And then back, you got to move that skirt there. And then the leg, you do have more than a 90-degree bend there, and then you got the ankle tilt and the rocker there too as well. So let me get that skirt back on. The skirty skirt, how did that go? Let's see. Did it go like, yeah, it went like this. It went like this. Sorry, skirt, didn't mean for you to pop off, but there you go. Sometimes these little bots, that's what you get, and that's what happens. But you know what we need to do? We need to compare him to a few other robots, maybe get his sword in his hand and see what he looks like with a few other bots, right? Yeah, let's do that. I try not to cuss a lot, but this one almost makes me want to cuss because it's just that good. It is just that good. This is Magic Square's Light of Peace, or Light of Victory, Light of Peace, Magic Square Legend size. So you can see how much bigger Megatronus is to this Optimus Prime. Let's throw in another Legend Scale bot. This is Iron Factory's Cyclonus. So you can kind of see just the difference between those two right there from a height standpoint. So he is intimidating, and he should be intimidating, right? He should be big, he should be intimidating, he should be, I mean, gosh, it just looks so cool. And then here's a core class Optimus right there. So you can kind of see from that size standpoint. And then let's bring in Deluxe class. We'll bring a Deluxe class in. We'll bring in Beachcomber, so you can see how big he is compared to Ultra Megatronus. And then we'll bring in a Voyager class. So this is kind of where you'll see, probably want to compare him to a Leader class, because that's probably where you're going to scale that more. But there it is with a Voyager class right there. Don't have a Leader class handy for me to compare him with, but that's what you're looking at. Love Tarn. Tarn and Megatronus match. They're matching colors there. So that's really cool. These are two of my favorite obscure bots, Tarn and Ultra Megatronus. Let's do this. Let's get him in his alt form and see what he is all about. Okay, here is Chaos Blade, and this is a tale of two figures here for me. So love the robot mode of Megatronus. While this looks okay, the transformation is not fun on this guy right here. And it doesn't, I mean, it's just, there's just, It's not that great, all right? That's all I'm going to say. It's not that great, but let's take a look at it closer here. And so, love the flames and everything that they did here. I think it looks great. This right here, this gun looks cool. I wish this barrel was bigger, or I wish there was a way that you could connect this sword part here too as well. That would be kind of cool. But that barrel is pretty short. But if you look at it, it just kind of all just kind of blurs together. I mean, you know, Iron Factory, they like using these little ball joint things here, and those, as you're transforming it, like to pop off, and then you got to pop them back on, and then you just kind of, as you're transforming it, it looks like a big mess until about the last few steps, and then it kind of all kind of comes together. But there's like just pieces like that just can hang out here. So here's the toes. I wish there would have been something different done there, but I do. Again, the flame effects look very, very cool, very, very cool indeed. But there's. Let me just kind of let you see it. There's the top. There's a side profile, the back, the side, the front, the bottom right there. But yeah, I kind of wish, again, like maybe I did something wrong, but there's a gappy area right here that, you know, just kind of it's a gap. Maybe I can just stick that like that, and then it just be like a little, I don't know. But yeah, it's a tale of two figures. Usually, you know, alt modes I usually really dig, but this one, it's not tickling my fancy like most others. Now, some people may love it, but this one right now is just not one of my favorites, and this will probably be the only time you'll see this bot in this mode, because the robot mode is so much more intimidating. But let me just measure from a height, from a length standpoint. You're looking at probably about 6 inches there. But there is another like alt mode for this. I'm going to see if I can get that into it here in just a moment, and then we'll also compare it to some other vehicles. So let me see if I can get it into that other alt mode. So I figured out what that other orange piece was for. It's to put it in this mode, this like spider tank mode. So basically you unpeg the treads on both sides here, and then you kind of fold this part out and you get this like spider tank mode, because that little orange piece fits underneath there. But that's what it looks like. It looks like a little, let me pull my camera up so you can see it much better. So that's what it looks like in its spider tank mode. There it is from the top, the side, the bottom, the side, the front, nope, the back, sorry, that's the butt, and then the front of it there. So again, not an impressive mode for me. Maybe, you know what, maybe I missed a piece or something here. Looks like maybe there's a piece that another piece that folds out. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe that covers it up a little bit. I don't know, let's try something here. Nope, it's just boring. Maybe, I don't know. So, but overall, this mode is not one of my favorites. Let's compare it to a few other vehicles. So this is a, let me get this down again. And, so we got Core Class Bumblebee right there, so we can kind of turn it to the side. You can kind of see how big Core Class Bumblebee is to this guy. And then we'll just compare it to Blitzwing here, the Leader Class Blitzwing. And there is Blitzwing compared to Megatronus. So let's do this. Let me get him back into bot mode and fight him to get back into that, and give you some of my final thoughts on Chaos Blaze, aka the Fallen, aka Megatronus, aka one of the Primes, aka the worst thing to ever transform ever. Not the worst thing to ever transform. Let's get back together and talk about it. Stop the presses. Yep, that piece folds back, folds up. There we go. Now we have a complete balanced whatever. So, but yeah, that will fold up to cover it up. I knew something looked off. But there we go. Now that is in its alt mode there. So yeah, still doesn't change my opinion, but yeah, that folds up. So yeah, now back to your final thoughts. Several hours later, I am back with you with my final thoughts on Chaos Blaze, aka Megatronus, aka the Fallen, one of the 13 Primuses who ends up being the first Decepticon. So let's bring him back in. Got him back into the mode that I think is my favorite, which is robot mode. And there he is again. This just... There's a love-hate relationship I have with this bot. So let's talk about the good first. The good first, I love the look of it. Big friggin' sword, all the flames all over the place. I think this looks great. I wish there was a way I could put get basically some kind of LED lights in here to light these flames up a little bit, or to kind of just put some light piping or something like that, or something to light them up. This looks cool. The face looks amazing. It's just a friggin' good. I love the colors. I love the feel. I love the look. The plastic is really nice. The bad about this is the transformation. There's a lot of twists, turns. The ball joints like to pop off, and then it just is a jumbled mess till you get about right to the end, and then it kind of turns into the tank part, right? A little bit of parts forming, with the sword being the gun turret for the tank, but I mean, it just feels like it's just congealed together. It doesn't feel completely complete. I know Iron Factory likes to do that with some of their stuff, but I just thought that the tank mode just kind of was I probably would never keep him in that. Now, in the tank mode, one thing I did discover after I got done filming and then getting ready to start to transform it, was the turret does move. It moves up and down, side to side. So I didn't get a chance to do that. Some of y'all say, I want to see that. I'll link a video where someone does that. I'm not going to put this guy back into tank mode for a while. But that was my bad. Awesome is the bot mode. The tank mode's not my cup of tea on this one. So on a scale of good, bad, awesome, I say this is if I was going to keep it in bot mode, it's going to be friggin' awesome. So I would give it a really good. The bad on the tank brings that friggin' awesome down to a pretty awesome, really good for me. Now, you can get this overseas on bombustbee.net for before shipping. It's $42.99. After shipping, it's probably about $57. Get it on Show Z Store, TF Safari. If you get it in the States, you're going to be paying probably around $80 to $85 for them. Is he worth that? I think, yeah, if especially if the robot mode alone for me is where the rubber meets the road, where I think it's worth it on that. This robot mode just makes up for that ugly tank mode of this guy, and then that weird spider mode that it has too. Spider kind of stationary turret tank mode it has, but when you're transforming it, you're going to have things pop off. You're going to have limbs all over the place. You're going to feel, you're just going to get frustrated. You're going to cry. You're going to be sad. Don't go by the instructions. I'm going to link Toys R Us. Toys R Us does a really, really great job at transforming him. So he's the one I followed. I had to reverse engineer how he transformed him to get him back into robot, because no one actually transforms him back from tank to robot, but mainly robot to tank on that. So, but yeah, that's it. This is him in a nutshell. This is what I love about him. This is the way he's going to stay, and I love the fact that, like the way they described him, the Judas Iscariot of the 13 Primes. So if the 13 Primes were the disciples, he was the Judas Iscariot of them, the first Decepticon, and he looks really, really cool. Just really, really awesome, especially that face. That face looks so cool, and all these flames look amazing. So that's all I got to say about him. So tune in next time when we talk about something else good, bad, or awesome. But in the meantime, y'all remember to stay young, have fun, and oh yeah, thank you for watching. Consider becoming a subscriber, and consider being awesome. Y'all remember to be awesome. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye now.